Hey guys, Golden Wheels here. I've got another review of a retro plug-and-play system. This one is called the 248 FC Games Classic Video Game System. Well, that's what it was called on DX.com, which is where I ordered it, and that name really rolls right off the tongue. Obviously, right on the box here, it says it's the Video Game System HTS-001. Well, a rose by any other name, of course, is still just another crappy plug-and-play, but man, I love these things. First thing as always, let's check the box for stolen art and overblown claims. Clearly we've got Blanka and Zangief facing off on the front here. I'm unfamiliar with this art on the right, but it strikes me as vaguely kind of SNK style art. If you know what this is, please let me know. Now, we've got only plain text on either side of the box. That's pretty disappointing. Bottom is plain, but you've got Spider-Man on top. I mean, that's pretty good. This is probably the fourth most embarrassing thing Spider-Man has been on, counting all the Spider-Man movie sequels. The back here has some basketball art I don't recognize. At first I thought it was from NBA Street, the old EA series from a few years ago. I don't know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's awful either way. If you know what it is, though, please, again, like the art on the front, let me know. I'd like to know what it is. Now, the important part, of course, with these things most of the time is the games list, if they work. That's why that's most of the time the important part. Working is always the most important part. Here's where we get to the overblown claims, but it's not nearly as overblown as usual for a plug-and-play system. You'll notice here there are multiple, if I can focus the camera on it, multiple Marios. Mario 6, Mario 9, Mario 10, Mario 14, blah, blah, blah. This is the old Famicom hack card gimmick of barely changing a game, making mushrooms do one different thing, make your jump slightly higher, etc. And if you look at the games list here, they're good games. You've got Contra 24-in-1. That is the Contra, like the game Philippe that I reviewed previously, that lets you select weapons, select levels. Contra 2 is Super C. I don't know what those other Contras are. Those are multiples as well, I guess. You've got the Turtles games. One of those is the Turtles Fighter game, which is why it's misnumbered. The Adventure Island series there. 1 is in one of the other columns. 4 is the unreleased Japanese Adventure Island 4. I mean, you can get a reproduction card of it in America, but obviously that was never released legitimately here. You've got Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3, real deal, good games. Power Blade, for a Famicom, wow, you're like, Power Blade, I can't believe this is on here. Guerrilla War, actual good games. You've got your junky stuff too, Urban Champion, all that stuff. But, it's neat to see a good selection of other games that aren't on every hack cart. You've got all the Donkey Kongs instead of just one. Burger Time. I'm a sucker for old arcade games. Sue Me. So you've got good games on here. And at this point, you might be thinking, well, geez, how much was this thing? It wasn't much. It was only $20, $25, I think, with shipping. And you might even be getting your hopes up. Gee, I should get one of these things. Don't get your hopes up. Let's open up the box. All right, we'll open this bad boy up here. The box looks pretty beat up, coming from Hong Kong. I think that's where they shipped out of. This is what it looked like when I got it. That's about what you can expect when you get something halfway around the world and you only pay $20 for it. All right, so you got your two controllers, PlayStation style. Even though they're actually even smaller than they look, I don't have big hands. These are tiny controllers. Buttons feel good. Shoulder butts have been deleted. Not like it matters. You're not going to use them anyway. Start and select work, obviously. You've got your B and A. And again, just like the game Fleet, top buttons are turbo function for the buttons below them. Neat little system. I believe this casing is also mimicked after something else that was officially released. But for the life of me, I couldn't find anything. Power, reset, that's about it. One out. Obviously, we got mono sound. These are Famicom games. That's all you got anyway. You've got your video, and you've got your power in. And power in was an interesting thing. When I ordered this, I was reading the comments on DX.com, and it said, it's a 220-volt power converter. You're going to need to get a 120-volt power converter to play with it in the States. And I thought, well, that's weird, because if you know anything about different voltages or buying games on eBay, you have to watch out for PAL games. Nobody in the review said that these are PAL format games. And for $25, I figured, well, you know, it's worth a shot. Well, remember how I told you not to get your hopes up? It's a PAL machine. With PAL, obviously, you've got less frames, and everything runs wrong. Music is off, animation is off. It's not set up to play with our system. So this thing is genuinely a giant tease. You can use a 9-volt adapter from almost any of the flashback systems that are out now, be it the Genesis, the Atari 2600, the 7800, the ColecoVision, the Intellivision, any of those ones you saw at Dollar Tree over the holiday. Those power supplies will work okay with this. Okay being that it didn't burst into flames and catch my house on fire. You do get these awesome audio-visual cables. They do the job. They get the picture in. So since you know it's PAL, I don't know if you're still interested or not, but let's look at an American TV and check out some of the games. Alright, we've got this bad boy plugged in. Let's check it out. Alright, well, imagine my disappointment when I plug this thing in and it no longer works. When I plugged this in originally, when I got it, I used the power plug from an Atari flashback system. I believe it was the Model 4. It worked fine. I played about 10 minutes of Super Contra in PAL format, which was awful. The music was off. It was playing wrong, and that was enough for me to put it back in the box. About 6 months later, I pulled it out to do a review, and I can't even get the thing to fire on. And frankly, right now, I'm going to unplug it because it's starting to smell like burnt plastic, and that's never good. So this has been the HTS-001 game system, or the 248FC game system, whatever you want to call it. And if you never see another video from me, please start a house fund for me because mine burnt down. Thanks guys, later.